for the
Hold on.
horse.
Folks in YouTube, welcome back. We're about to fight a battle for a great farm in the hopes of taking the alternate gold reward instead of the units, unless the units are really awesome, I guess. Then the units maybe it'd be a better choice. Who knows? Um, but usually it's like a boar is the reward for acquiring a great farm. A boar that costs gold instead of mana as upkeep. Um, because it's a natural one, it's not a summon.
Yeah.
Uh, so anyways, those welcome new to this channel, welcome. You can check the series out from the beginning. Northstar and disable long COVID. Sometimes I think so. We get tired quicker, so I apologize if I take turns are a little slower than be optimal. Sorry. Something about the boar you were saying, Joe?
Yeah. I want to initiate the battle with the boar, right? Because it's got the most movement,
Yeah, the
or
boar
the
or the
leader.
hero. It really doesn't matter except that if you had somewhere else you want to send, that the hero is a little more useful to send around other places. And I think as does he have any movement bonuses?
Um, I don't think so.
Wait, no forestry even? No.
Nope, he's not an elf.
Didn't the army just move through a forest to get there? Or no, they took the open terrain. Never mind. It was
Yeah,
like
they
if you
walked
just
around it.
yeah, okay. Um
I'll do the boar then.
yeah, probably doesn't matter much. Um although oh,
Hmm?
unit is in dislike terrain. He doesn't like Arctic terrain. That's right. The
Oh,
leader.
ooh, naturals.
Uh
Oh, I should totally move. Wait, no.
yeah, then they lose nature's resistance. They don't have enough
Yeah,
movement. If they did, they could move on to mount and attack from there. But you need all the units to have 14 movement. Otherwise, you have to split the stack. Yeah, I would just
yeah,
attack. That small chance of crits is not as valuable as +1 resistance on everyone, probably. Unless,
mm,
wait, no, they don't have anything that uses. The resistance won't do any good against them. They don't have any units that resistance is beneficial against.
so should I just move him off anyway?
Uh, just checking. So nature's resistance won't do the stack any good. So I would move him. Only the only units that have 14 movement are him and the boar. So I would move those. Well, the boar doesn't need to do it because it's just +1 resistance. But I would have him move. Uh, where would you probably send him next? I guess north if there's a lost soul. So I would send him to northwest. It'd also make him close to the other hero for what it's worth. And maybe the
Okay.
two of them work together against those if any lost souls appear. Yep.
Then initiate the battle with the boar.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, now he's has high morale. Okay, cool.
Yep. It also means he'll start off to the flank side like that, which can actually help with flanking them. So
Yeah.
they have nothing but melee units, and he's got a longbow. He's the only range. Oh, you actually do have initiate as well, but this can help you catch him in a crossfire.
You can try to befriend the boar.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if he manages, then it's well, not a free boar, but one that only costs a little gold, and we are kind of swimming in gold. I mean, it's starting to get a little tighter with all the
Yeah.
construction and annexation of the vassals. I mean, part of the reason gold was so abundant before is because, you know, of the vassals instead of annexing them, which was kind of controlling the cities directly would have been way more expensive, but more
Yeah.
beneficial in the long run because it would have been building up infrastructure, which I wasn't doing. And the vassals either
Yeah.
never built infrastructure or they only do it very rarely. So like here and there they do seem to have one building, so maybe they occasionally build something, but it's very rare if they do. Uh, why is this
Mm.
thinking and thinking and thinking? Sorry. I keep getting this
Mm.
thinking icon on the mouse. Uh, it's not something go on with.
I think
Oh,
it does that when it's not your turn a lot.
yeah, maybe. I think it
All
had something
right.
to do with a fix I did because of a.
Should I pull forward just out of their range?
Uh, sorry, I was just noticed something. The mature shock serpent is not its final form. It
Oh,
evolves into a king shock serpent.
yeah.
It's already a tier 3 unit. It becomes a tier 4 unit with experience.
Ye-
That's nuts. And the baby shock serpent's about to become a mature one. So,
Sweet.
yeah, usually the evolved pathways are worthless. I think the spiders become spider queens. They're not amazing, but this is a really nice pathway. And you got the dire penguins, which at champion level are actually quite good. The boar is weak, but will eventually. Sorry, you're asking, should you move forward with what?
So should I just advance and just stay out of that boar's range and then wait for it to come to me?
Um, I would try and yeah cautiously set up because all right, there's like a kind of with the fences and stuff you can see there's like a choke point, right?
Yeah.
So you could position the mature shock serpent can inflict stun. Uh, and it's got high health and defense. Dire Penguin's a bit injured, but it could come up and it has a freezing touch ability, so it could help. I would gather around that choke point, yeah, a little bit back, and the Initiate can try and shoot them as they approach, whereas your hero can try and get them
The
in a
left choke
flank.
point or the right choke point?
Uh, well, my screen might be oriented different than yours. On what side is your
Uh,
main army? On the left or the bottom, or
Nashak's on the right, the army's on the bottom.
like so they're at the due north, the enemy army, or
Yeah.
okay, my
Yep.
screen was oriented a little different than yours by default. It was looking at diagonal where your armies are like the 2 points of a diagonal towards them, if that makes sense. Two sides,
Yep.
like they're both a slant relative to the screen. Um, that right, obviously, there's only really one choke point on the right. Well, actually, there is a gap on the fence to the left of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you want to. The most likely scenario is the boar, though the goblins could too. Comes down that right choke point. So if you go a little bit back, so that you hit them from multiple sides once they exit the choke point. So hang out behind the rocks and bushes, like further back. Um, I'd probably 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd probably move the high elf initiate 4 tiles to between the bushes, and then put the shock serpent next to it, so that they can't rush through that choke point and reach the initiate melee. And the shock serpent
Um,
can guard and
like between, yeah, I see. Between these two bushes.
yeah, because they're probably gonna come like between the two rocks. So
One
if
more
it move,
tile to the right.
yep, and then the shock
Okay.
serpent can guard next to the initiate, so that
The baby or the mature?
the baby one,
Okay.
um, yep, uh, and the mature one could probably hang out right behind that rock.
Yeah. So
Three
3 tiles
tile,
forward.
yep, so that if they come through this gap, They have to choose
Yeah.
which shock serpent they go through, and the other can flank them.
Should I
Um,
move the boar next to it
um,
or behind it?
I would actually. I'm thinking about where the penguins would go. I would actually move the penguins to block that fence gap,
Okay.
or actually, no, because if you
Hmm?
actually no, because you want to be able to hit the whatever goes in that fence gap from two directions. So I move the
Oh, hey,
penguins.
my penguin has freezing touch now.
Yeah, I would move the penguins 3 tiles and one to the right, so it's next to the shock serpent. That way, it can hit
Uh,
whatever comes through the fence gap, and if something attacks the penguin, the boar can hit from the other side.
oh, so next to the rock and shock serpent and fence.
Yep.
Okay. Should I try to freeze the boar and make it easy to charm it?
Uh, I mean, it's if the boar comes through that gap, maybe. I the goblin butchers are no joke, so I'd be a
Right.
little bit worried about those.
Prioritize killing the butcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, the boar, let's see, could actually go next to the penguin and the shock serpent so that it can get a charge and set either flanking from the left side of the penguin by circling around or charge around to the right. It's a good place where it can charge either direction. So I put it
Okay.
next to your shock serpent and penguin and just guard there. And this is
All right.
really only relevant in a couple turns, but it means you can just kind of leave them put, not to move them unless they move in unexpected directions. Uh, your hero, on the other hand, you're gonna want to kind of. If he gets close enough to shoot them, then they're close enough to. What spells does he have? Because he has some casting points.
Very few. Just rest strike.
Just rest strike.
Yep. And I can't cast it on them. They're not armored.
Yep, they are not.
He could awaken spirit on one of the animals. Well, he can't reach them.
um, one of the friendly animals. Yeah, in a little bit. Um, I doubt they're gonna come racing forward anyways. They're probably gonna wait for you to attack.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Um, the range in that longbow. If you get too close, they might try and rush you with the butcher. I might stand somewhere near the initiate because if they don't rush forward, you might want to actually go over the left and awaken spirit on the boar or something. I forgot about all about awaken spirit, but that's until the end of combat. So you could awaken spirit on the shock serpent or the boar. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I would have them move over like near the initiate or next to initiate because initiate can actually fall back and make a gap unless they come right for him. Yeah, we just guard him next to initiate this turn. They probably won't come for him yet.
Okay.
They'll just probably stand still, and then you can rush over and give awakened spirit to something. Uh, I mean the boar can't do that many rounds melee before it would have to fall back, so I'd probably want to do it to the mature shock serpent if I were you. But
Yeah.
um, Yeah, which means you need to clear a gap for him to reach the mature shock serpent. Although it could meet him part way. Actually, it should probably come to him so that if anything, because then he's probably gonna go back and like shoot stuff. Yeah, I would pull the baby shock serpent back a tile and the initiate a couple tiles so we can reach the mature, so mature shock serpent can slither over to him.
Okay. And then where should I move the initiate?
Doesn't really matter. You're probably gonna move it back where it is or back through that gap later. I'd just move it out 2 tiles.
Okay. And
Um,
then move the shock serpent to the hero.
next to him, but actually you could probably move it one further than that. So you could actually have the hero move 1 tile closer to the enemies. You could still waken spirit on the shock serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they would probably do nothing, but it was worth being sure. Yeah, now
Okay.
can move behind him and he can just awaken its spirit.
Oop. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. And then should I move? No, wait. I don't. Do I want to keep the shock serpent over there, or because I don't want to block it in with the initiate? Do I?
Um, do you want to keep the shock serpent over there? Uh, it doesn't have any movement left, does it? The mature shock serpent?
Yeah, it's all out. But I mean, like, what do I do with the baby shock serpent and high elf initiate?
Um,
Just guard in place?
now that the hero is closer, I'm thinking about it. If they shoot up on the left with like multiple of the goblins, you'd be in trouble. I might move the shock serpent left like 3 tiles.
The baby
So
shock
it's
serpent
yeah, so it's like behind or so it's like
next to the
next
penguin and the rock.
yeah, next to the penguin and the rock.
Okay.
And then have the penguin fall to the left. Well, no. Yeah, to the left a couple tiles. So the boar can be a more central located. I'd have it stand the penguin.
Behind the other fence.
Yep. Or even yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but just there. Um maybe have the boar move right 1 tile.
Right.
Yeah.
And the initiate.
If it can move 1 tile or if it can move a couple tiles forward, I doubt they'll you can lure them in, but if you can lure them in, that is not going to be a bad thing. I
I
would
can
just
move
have it
one
move in.
tile forward. If I move two forward, the boar can hit me. Do I
Can, but
want it
almost
to?
certainly won't. Well, 1 tile forward if you don't want to risk it, but I highly doubt the boar will come for you just because you're in range. I would move a tile forward for sure, though. At least one.
Okay. Do you
Yep.
think I should move forward with the?
Doesn't really matter either way. So yeah, just guard, I guess.
Okay.
They're not going to move. They're just going to waste another turn. But, you know, you were able to.
Oh, they're
Oh,
moving.
they're moving, but not all the way. They're just cautiously advancing now. Like so. Um.
No. Oh boy.
Oh no, this is good. They
Should be able to
well.
flank the butcher, right?
Um. You don't want the boar to be able to get its charge bonus, so
Oh wait, can you flank something with
this
first strike?
guarding, you
Oh,
can't
he's
flank.
guarding.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
you can flank stuff with the first strike, but not. You can't flank stuff that's guarding. Um,
I can shock the butcher.
uh, let's see. Yeah, that thing.
Could try to stun it with the shock serpent.
The problem with the butcher is that it will life steal, so it would just heal a lot. The skewer
Yeah.
is actually easier to kill relative to the damage it deals, but actually you would have to get closer, wouldn't you? Shoot, yeah, I would
Hmm.
just yeah, I guess I would just shoot the butcher. Shot the well no, because then they'll only one of them could advance into the gap against the initiate. Though they almost certainly will do. Which is fine. I guess you could have the shocks. You could have the mature shock serpent slither over there. Yeah, I would shot. I would hit the butcher.
With the shock serpent?
No, with the high elf initiate.
Ah, okay. Can the initiate stun? No. Okay. All right. Without moving, just hit it from right here.
Yeah. So that you don't suffer range. And how many casting points you currently have free?
26.
Hmm. You might want to cast a spell just to make sure you don't get too damaged or lose a unit or anything.
Yeah.
Let's see. You have suffocate, roof, spears, and what else?
Seeker enchantment.
Yeah.
Although if I
I
was
might.
going to, sorry,
Oh, you were going to what?
if I was going to cast Seeker enchantment, I probably should have done it before I made that attack.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think I can save a root spears or a suffocate for
Um.
when one of them gets lower.
Yeah, I guess if you want to save it, because you only have so many casting points. And how much would it cost to do a root spear? Is 14 because of the hero not being in the battlefield.
Root spears is 20, suffocate's 14.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those you would only be able to do like one because of the doubling of the cost. Yeah, so I would, anyways, I would slither the mature shock serpent over to the gap next to the initiate for sure,
Oh,
because that
okay.
thing has to hold that gap. The initiate will get pounded otherwise. Uh,
Should I move forward a tile and fully block it in?
yeah, so that the boar can't get its charge bonus if it tries to. Well, actually, no, because then you
Then they
could.
can get hit by multiple units.
Well, yeah, but the initiate's gonna have to pull back. Well, then, yeah, they'd suffer attacks out too. Yeah, I would just have a guard here then. The shock serpent. The
Okay.
initiate will almost certainly get attacked and have to fall back, which you can use the hero to make them turn away from the initiate so it won't suffer an attack of opportunity by shooting them from the side. Because they always turn to, distract them and then fall back, kind of thing. Um, hey, I'm getting better. That's a tactic I wouldn't have even thought of until I'd been playing the game this long, this many, sessions.
Yeah.
I'm getting better. Yeah, flanking strikes as a distraction, not just to damage. Um, yeah, I would move the dire penguins into the one tile forward into that gap so that the boar doesn't get its charge bonus against the penguin because it'll probably move 2 tiles and just attack directly.
What?
And if it does, I would move the dire penguin on the left 1 tile closer so that the boar can't charge it. It's too close that way.
Okay. Like, and block the gate?
Yeah, and just guard there.
All right.
Um, and
Hmm.
there's always the slight risk that they'll try and destroy the fence
The
and
fence?
move. Yeah, so I would move the baby shock serpent 1 tile to the left. Or actually, you could destroy selectively destroy the fences to screw with them too. Gain flanking and stuff like on the boar. Uh, hmm. And they would waste time doing that. Yeah, I would move the baby shock serpent to the. And you don't want them. It can move 4 tiles, so move it to the gap on the left. The point is mainly that it can maybe destroy that fence in a turn and
Yeah.
then move through. Yeah, so I'd move it to the other gap between the fences on the left and just guard there. Um, See how this develops, but it would already be in position. Um, Heck, it could even lure the boar to try and go around for the shock serpent instead. I doubt it will, but um,
Okay. We got the boar and the hero.
uh, I'd probably move the boar. Let's see. No, it's probably in the ideal optimal spot right now, actually, the more I think about it.
Yeah.
So I just have the boar guard. Unless
Not move it forward a tile?
hmm. No, because they're gonna probably charge the initiate. The initiate's gonna fall back. They won't move past the shock serpent because of attacks of opportunity. While it's sitting there guarding, it just guards the gap. And then the boar could charge into where the initiate was to hit them in a charge if necessary. Um, hmm. Yeah, I really can't see anywhere else you'd want the boar than where it is right now. I would just guard with the boar and have the hero. He could probably fall a tile further back from the butcher. Uh, like back to the right one, just so that if it tries to charge him, it has to move further.
He could hide behind here and then take some shots at it, I think.
You talking about behind the bushes?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess you don't want to. I mean, you may
He
need
can take
to.
two shots
Therm-
at it from behind the bushes. If he goes
yeah,
between the two bushes?
yeah. I wouldn't go too far because he's probably needing to pop back out to the right to get flanking shots for the
Yeah.
initiate. But yeah, I might have move him 2 tiles, no further than that, because he'll need to move further later.
Okay. And now I can take two shots at the butcher. Not much damage. There's still a line of sight penalty,
Well, yeah,
but
he didn't have one where he
45%.
was before, but yeah, at least he's
Okay.
out of range if the butcher
Yeah, he's
can't
not gonna
reach
get
him.
hit.
Of course, that means they'll probably try and go and hit the shock serpent or the initiate, but whatever.
That's true.
Yeah. If you manage to
Ah,
bleed him, I
not bleeding.
suppose.
Dang.
Well,
Oh well. All right.
I mean,
Let's see.
yep.
Figures.
That's what I was saying. Why I wouldn't have bothered, because he's gonna need to just pop out the right, get fewer shots this way. Of course, the
Yeah.
boar did that.
Oh,
Um,
60% chance to befriend it or kill it instead.
uh,
Well, I guess the butcher's kind of a problem, huh? They all have first strike, except for the boar.
well, if the boar's gonna go around to the right, it's gonna be a while till it can reach anything.
Yeah.
Um, he could actually flank the butcher from the left, like next to the dire penguin, so that the initiate can get away if he stands next to dire penguin.
Who?
Your hero, he can stand next to dire penguin and shoot the butcher from there, and that should allow the initiate to get away. If he
Oh,
stands,
shoot the butcher.
yeah.
I see.
The point is just to create a distraction so the initiate can fall back.
Yeah.
Other than that, everyone else just probably guards. I mean, the penguin could try and freeze the skewer, but if it fails, it will not be in guard mode, so I would just sit in guard mode. Because the skewer will just basically keep attacking and suffering retaliations, but the penguin has defense bonuses if it guards.
Yeah.
So,
So move the hero next to the penguin and shoot the butcher. Okay.
yep, that'll force the boar to move a lot further to do anything. You can try and
Flanking.
charm
Oh,
it
it's only
later.
11 damage too. Oh, a crit.
Hmm. And bleeding, I believe. And
Um, should I have the initiate kill him?
uh
Yeah, the initiate has a decent chance. 12 to
you
18
mean
damage. He has 17. Well, I guess decent's not great. He got a small chance, but he can be finished off by the shock serpent
I I mean, I wouldn't
or the shock
risk
serpent.
it. I would just go with the sure thing, the sock serpent guard. I would just have the initiate fall back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, have the initiate fall. You most likely the main danger of the initiate now is the boar managing to charge it.
Oh,
I would take full advantage of.
I could stick the boar between the bushes to block the other boar.
I wouldn't. It's only got so much movement. It can't reach anything except the shock serpent. So I would move it to the left side of the shock serpent, the initiate, and just shoot the butcher from there. That should be out of range of the boar.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Then we lose flanking, but all right.
Can't always fight offensively. Sometimes you need to
10 to
fight
16. Still pretty good.
defensively. Yep.
Okay, 7 health.
Yeah. I mean, and when the butcher attacks the mature shock serpent again, which it will, the shock serpent will retaliate and kill it. Pretty simple. So, um,
Guard the boar, or
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I could try to freeze the skewer.
Um, 2. The boar I wouldn't guard actually because you're gonna maybe want to charge the other boar, or at least make it a threat too, so that it's less likely to charge the shock serpent and get
Yeah.
killed. So I would,
Move it 2 tiles to the right and guard.
let's see, to set up flanking if it goes there, you need to be facing these three. One. Although I would just move it 1 tile straight back and guard.
1 tile down.
Like, yes, down, south.
Okay. And the baby shock serpent.
Uh, might as well intimidate them with the threat of coming around the rear of the rocks. I would just start slithering around the rocks. It also create distance in the boar.
Around the left.
Or no, actually, the you might fail to charm the boar. That's silly. It won't get there before the fight's over. Yeah, I would put it next to the boar. Actually, have it guard next to the boar.
In
The
front of
shocks
or to the left of?
to the left of the boar.
Okay. Hopefully,
Yep.
it can get some XP this round.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have much health left, so you got to be careful with it,
Yeah.
or it'll die.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Don't forget when it levels up, it costs more to maintain as well.
Oh
So
yeah, that's true.
I would just wait and let the shock serpent and the penguin get the XP for now, and then initiate from shooting stuff.
Okay. Oh, he's bleeding.
Yep, it's one more reason to be patient and let them wear themselves out on you.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
I mean, they went for the
Penguin's hurt.
dire penguin. Uh, that's fine. You can use that same. I didn't expect they would charge the boar all the way over there, but they did.
Yeah.
You can use the same trick of a flanking attack to distract the boar, or trying to charm it is actually befriend animal is actually a flanking
Yeah.
thing. So
Can't move the penguin out of the way.
um, no, you're gonna have to go around to the right side and then try and charm it. Um, let's see. So the initiate will need to probably move to the left 1 tile.
Yeah.
Yep. And the shock serpent's going to have to probably move up right 1 tile so that yep, the mature shock serpent will have to move there. And then the hero should be able to move around and try and charm the boar. I would have it do it from directly behind. So if you need to kill it instead, the shock serpent can reach it. Because it should be able to cut off with a flanking attack or whatever. Not a
Okay.
flanking attack, but attack. I would try and befriend it.
70% chance.
Yep. If you succeed, it's yours and you win.
Oh my
If you
god.
fail,
Wow.
well, I think the penguin's out of attacks, right? Because of the
Yeah.
retaliations.
Should be able to shock it.
Can you freezing touch it?
No, he can't do anything.
Oh. Um, hmm.
Initiate has a ranged attack left though.
Wait, why'd you move it
Can't.
there? I was gonna say you want to set up flanking, so you want to go around to the left side.
Sorry. He still can. He can go. He's currently flanking it.
Yeah.
Go left though Two tiles to the left?
Yeah, so that the shock serpent can flank. You're
Ah, I see. There we
yeah.
go.
If he doesn't kill it, the shock serpent. I mean, he won't. She won't kill it unless she gets a crit.
Yeah.
Um, I believe the mature shock serpent can finish it off now.
Oh, not enough movement. Shit. Boar can, though. Yeah, the boar can charge in.
All right. Well, then the boar might as well charge in, do what it does best.
Yep.
And this is actually optimal anyway, because you don't want the boar attack more than once, or else you get retaliations from their boar.
Yeah.
So if you, well, actually, you weren't going to get that unless you fumbled. So what am I saying? Well, what's the reward?
All right. Not too much damage. A tiger and 64 gold, or 98 gold.
Hmm. Tigers are pretty decent andable units. How much gold do you already have?
66.
Oh yeah, 64 would be more than enough to train a unit in your capital.
Yeah, I'll have 130 gold. That's plenty.
Yeah, and the
So just
tiger.
take the reward?
Yeah, I would take the tiger. Tiger's pretty good. If it was a boar, I would have sold it. Boars are
Yeah.
not amazing, but tigers are great.
Okay.
Tigers are really cool. I like them anyhow.
Yeah.
It's a Siberian tiger. I mean, it really is because it's mostly fighting
The
in.
bloodthirsty helps, since I can cause bleeding with all my ranged attacks. So yeah,
Yeah.
that works well with my archers if I get some over here.
Mm-hmm. Can fin it can run in. It's as fast as a cavalry unit, but it's not
Yep.
vulnerable to pikes like a cavalry unit. And yeah, bloodthirsty. And as it levels up, it will gain the ability to inflict bleeding wounds at elite rank itself.
Now, should I train a hunter?
Um, at your capital,
Yeah,
how much does a hunter cost?
85.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would train a
Otherwise, I
hunter.
could build a shrine, or an
I would do.
arena, or a laboratory. Oh, laboratory.
I would
Uh,
do the hunter because of Fugold and Galbrand, the Dwarven cities.
right.
I mean, Fugold doesn't require it, but you might lose, a unit defending against the Archons. I'm assuming you send the dwarves
Yeah,
back before they attack. This will help and be absolutely you don't decrease the odds of losing a unit the next time they attack.
yeah.
And there's sites to clear around Galbrand and other sites underground too if you have the time. So I would
What was I doing with these
um,
three high elf hunters up here in the Arctic, in the water?
you would just clear the vault of knowledge because it gave you knowledge basically. And
Oh,
because I
yeah.
I had I had a unit that was helping you clear it if we got really unlucky, and so I had to sacrifice my cheetah so you wouldn't lose a hunter.
I wasn't gonna kill these
The
the Earth
golden
node, was I? Was I gonna clear the Earth node?
we
Can
were
I
gonna
clear?
try it, but without my help, without my ability to cast spells on top of yours, there's no way. It was gonna be a really
Okay.
hard fight, even with 4 units and
Mm.
spells. Without, I wouldn't even attempt it. But there are units defending that watchtower, I believe, which you might be able to
Should I
take.
should I send them all, send my whole stack over there, or just one?
The hunters.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have move as a group in case of lost soul attacks from the necromantic circle.
Okay.
But yeah, I would scout out. I don't even remember what was guarding the watchtower. I'll save now, actually, since you just finished that fight. Um, yeah, I think their visibility is 3. So if you move 3 tiles from the watchtower, uh,
Okay. 2 draconian crushers and a hatchling.
so 2 infantries and an irregular. Yeah, you should be able to handle that, especially with spells. Um, yeah, I would clear the watchtower to level up these guys, or at least get them in next to the watchtower so you can clear it and move on later.
Okay.
Um, hold on, how much movement they have? 17? Hmm. Let's see.
Hmm?
I was thinking whether you'd want them to hang out in the mountains for some reason. Probably not. Um, how many casting points do you have
26.
out of
60.
hmm. And you're working summon wild animal, but you don't have enough. You're just whatever you don't spend will work towards it, but you don't have enough to do it this turn, right?
Yep. I can't afford it.
Um, hmm. You should be able to win the fight, but it will be easier if you let the hunters heal for one turn. And if the lost souls, if some of them pop up, they're well positioned to go and try and hunt them down. They have lots of mobility.
I
And you
mean, I
got,
could send next turn Ella the runaway up there, and then once they've cleared that, they can rotate around to that trading post.
um,
My new sorcerer.
yeah, no, I'm not sure it's necessary. The only reason I'm saying is to let the hunter peel one turn so it has 24 HP instead of 18, just so it's you don't have to be as careful with the injured hunter. The
Okay.
other two are fine. It would just improve your odds because the hatching can do fire spit. Um, and if it fire spits the thing
Oh, hey,
twice, it
there's
could
more
kill it.
gold. My frostling is sitting right next to a stash of gold.
Oh,
Oh, and flotsam.
which? Oh, you're talking about the one that's on the water?
To the top right,
Yeah. Um, hold up.
so I can get it.
Uh,
I can get a lot of gold this turn.
yeah, embarking soaks your movement, but disembarking doesn't. So yeah, I would grab the flotsam first because you won't be able to get back to it this turn otherwise.
Yeah, 87 gold, and then grab the gold stash.
Yeah, and then there's the haste berries. Can you reach the haste berries this turn?
70. Sweet.
No, you can't.
No, that's too bad. I can move 2 tiles.
Two tiles.
I can get back in the water.
I think we checked before, and the embarking was a free. Doesn't cost any movement for the raider or the ice scaper, right?
I believe that is true. Yeah.
So if it moves two tiles to the southeast, and then it could go back on the water from there, just so it explores more on the coast. Sees
Okay.
what's yeah. I would
Yep. That
go to the
works.
east because the water continues that way, and it's worth seeing what's there.
Yep.
I would have the other boat explore the north, that branch of the river, because it's less likely that anything on land has been picked up by Lucian there. He might have picked up stuff elsewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what happened to its movement? For a second, it
It
got
had to
weird.
cross over a bridge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Here's another necromantic circle in a volcanic wetland area. A
That's
volcanic
all
area.
its movement.
Yep. There's a small chance lost souls will appear. They're floating in it, so they can attack. your
Oh,
ice scaper, it's on water. So you're definitely not going to want to hang out in this area too long because it's not even safe on the water.
yeah.
But if it keeps heading north along the river, you'll find out where the rivers lead, which is good.
Hmm.
Exploration. I'm saying if the frosting keeps going up the river, you'll find out where it leads. It probably connects up to the water that the other ice scaper is on.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we know very little about the east side of the map, so
How come the builder doesn't want to take the road?
the builder. Oh, you're. Remember, my
Yeah,
camera doesn't
the one
go
in
where
Illinois.
in Illinois. I don't see a builder in Illinois.
Oh, false cereal. Sorry.
Oh, um,
That
you
I'm
mean
moving up to those gold mines.
doesn't want to take the road, huh?
Yeah, it's staying left. Would it be worth it to build another road around the left along its path?
What do you mean it's staying left? Do you mean it's trying to route up the road that goes to the wetlands?
Yeah, like here, let me move it part way.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
instead of
because
moving to the right, it wants to just move straight to the top right.
uh, that's because it would take 21 movement to get to where the furthest it could along the road. It would actually take more movement to follow the road than not.
Yeah.
That's because the
So should I
path.
make another road alongside this road, or is it just fine?
I mean, it's it would save a little time, but how much gold do you currently have?
200.
Oh, yeah, because the flotsam. Um, hmm.
Ooh, should I make public baths?
Public baths where?
My capital.
I mean, no, you need the military units. Yeah, you could make a partial road because remember I was saying along the mountains here, like just south of Forest, is a good place for another fort for a dwarven city. Eventually, I wouldn't do it right now because it'll actually crowd the growth of Valsariel. So not until you're closer to settling it. And you'll want to connect that city up to the road network. So yeah, I would go 3 tiles and well, you can only go two, but I would extend the road 2 tiles in northeast at least, and you can do more
Okay.
next turn. Uh, Again, the reason I recommend it is because I would build eventually a fort 1 tile to the west to where the builder currently is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it right now, but it's a site where you can cram in a dwarven city.
Okay.
The idea is to cram lots and lots of them in. Um, then you could do another one further north, or you could actually do it on the
Oh,
forest later. Um,
the frosting ice scapers ran off
Ran off.
the quest ones.
Oh, you mean they moved, right?
Yeah, they're now south, mostly east of Trequium.
Ah, yeah, I see them. That's actually a good thing where they ended up. Because my army is coming that area and was going to make a stop by the Flowers of Solace eventually to get Solace and then maybe help you kill them. So that's actually that I was worried they would run west. That's actually an ideal spot if they stay in that area. That's so much the better, and you can help ensure they stay in that area by getting in their way, since they can't move through you. Um, hmm. Uh, how close can you get to them this turn with your army?
If I leave the initiate behind, I can get next to them.
Uh, if you leave the initiate behind.
Yeah, initiate has too
Um,
little movement. With the initiate, I can only get immediately to the right of their army.
like, well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
without the initiate, what?
You don't want to attack them this turn. You just want to block their movement so that they won't go back north again, so that they'll stay in that area because that's where you want them actually. Uh, can you? So you can
They
get
went
to
through the
the.
mountains, though. I can't block the mountains.
You can with part of your army. Can you? Any of them reach that tile this turn?
Oh, yeah. But if I split them up too much, can't they pick them off?
They're not hostile to you yet.
Yeah, they
They
are.
won't.
We're at war.
You're at war with them.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess they can pick them off. I didn't think you were
Oh,
at war with them.
yeah.
Uh,
I think as soon as you accept the quest, it declares war.
hmm.
Hmm. I can move my army to the right, though, and then split half of it and go to the bottom left.
If you're at war with them, I would actually gather up in that dense vegetation so that your elven units get a morale bonus. I would just hang out
Oh,
in the
over
forest
here to
due
the
east of
right?
them. Yep. If you're lucky, they'll end up somewhere adjacent to. You know what? What am I saying? They won't. They'll probably move south, but maybe the force is south. Yeah, so I'd actually just get the tile to the right of them
Okay.
with their whole army. If your initiate can make it that far, I wouldn't split up too
Yeah, it
much.
can.
Yep, I would just hang out there, and then maybe if you're lucky, they'll run towards that forest to the south. And forest is preferred terrain for your elves, so that's
Yeah,
perfect.
that would help a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Their morale's really high.
hmm Um, they might move north, but I could actually block the mountains with some of my units, since they're not hostile to me and they can't move through my um and I could position them in the mountains inside the domain of the Frostling City. That would actually be perfect. Um, or maybe just in the mountains to east of it. I don't think they'll attack me right away.
Okay.
Either way.
All right. Prospector to the north. Should I keep? Hmm. Should I mine more?
Yeah, plans have changed somewhat since I was gonna, after conquering that city, rush an army up to Fugold, and I'm gonna control a city there. So I can, if anything, you want to be able to send reinforcements quickly. Uh,
You want me to
let's
dig this out to the cave entrance?
um, let's do this tile by tile. You let's see. To the west will be a let me take a look at what's over in the surface. To the west will be Imbold, which we'll eventually conquer. To the east, um, trying to think of the best place to connect the tunnels. There is value for clearing out more. Yeah, I would dig a couple tiles to the southeast to start with the prospector.
Okay. 2 tiles southeast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where else do you think I should move?
I'm waiting to see the tunnel dug because I'm trying to,
Oh,
instead of calculating movement,
are we
I'm gonna
talking about
just,
different prospectors? Whoops. We might
yeah, I
be.
was talking about the one south of Fugol.
I moved the north one. Sorry. Shit. Was that bad?
Um,
Yeah. I'll switch
um,
to the southern one. Whoops. So the southern prospector to the 2 tiles to the southeast.
yeah. I mean, you did clear
Okay.
some terrain that the city might have liked there, so not great, but um,
Okay. I moved him 2 tiles to the southeast.
yep. Uh, that took 12 movement, so he's got three more.
Two more tiles, I think.
Three. He can do dig three more tiles. So if he goes one more tile to the southeast, and then to the southwest there, it'll connect the tunnels.
Southwest.
Although, does he want to connect the tunnels this turn? There's various roving dangers, and the point is to make the shortest possible route for reinforcements. Uh,
Oh, that's rock cavern walls.
oh, he can't dig through that anyways.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when they get shallow.
Then I would dig one to the southwest. That's rock. And yeah, I guess start backtracking. That's good enough. My hero should be able to come and finish the tunnel on his movement.
All right.
And then I'll be connected and hmm.
And the other prospector? What should I do with him?
The other prospector. Uh on the bright side, uh you did clear a little more terrain around a potential city site that could allow for a city that can hold more um
Would it be smart to put an elf city down here in this dense vegetation?
not underground. No. They'll
Okay.
like the um Let's see. Subterranean is disliked. Dense vegetation is liked. I think the net effect is negative based on the way the game does it. It's at least neutral at best, whereas dwarves will like it here with the rock and dirt cavern walls.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. The prospector there. Um, I can't see any reason for him to move Doug southeast there. That was just. I wish there was. I wish the dwarves didn't like terrain that was useful to clear like that, but whatever.
Yeah. Kind of annoying.
Um, I mean, you probably just want to be able to mutually reinforce stuff anyways, so I would have him dig one tile as northeast and then just dig straight east from there. Or, yeah, because 1, 2, 3 either way.
Northeast is rock.
Oh, that's rock.
Yeah. Just a single tile of rock.
Darn it. What's the point of that? Um, that would have him backtrack one tile and dig one northeast. Because he's going to connect up to that cave entrance while destroying as few tiles of dirt as possible. So, so I'd have him back.
That would destroy 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there, I think.
Yep.
Whereas if I just keep going to the right, I can do it in 1, 2, 3 tiles, right?
Oh, because that's dirt. Yeah, but that's a less direct path. Probably want to build a city that's centered on the place one to the one backtrack,
Yeah.
and then it'll have room, I guess, for more suburbs around it, which means you can actually put more units in the city. For some reason, you had a huge battle here. I doubt it. But
Hmm.
um, the point is to create the minimum distance in the city center where units train to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves versus 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the same either way. Then I guess I would just dig due east from here, since you need to get around the dirt cavern walls. I mean, the rock cavern
All right.
walls. Yep,
Just need to get one more tile out.
yep. Next turn, you can dig the final tile to the east, have connected the pass, have dug a nice little tunnel where you can put some little dwarven cities with still a reasonable amount of walls around them for light terrain. And a city here can be, can send armies east both to reach Galbrand if necessary and to reach the cave entrance to, bring armies to the
Yeah.
surface where they're actually useful. So, um, yeah, and that's the main
Should
cave
I clear
entrance in
the
this
crystal tree
region.
now? Or
Um,
hmm.
and as much as there was the whole digging southeast not being via dug
Ideal.
due east, he only would have cleared one less tile of dirt in the long run.
Yeah.
And that tile
So not
dirt would have
big.
been. This actually creates more centered around where you probably will actually find the city. So the city will grow faster, even though in the long run this will be marginally worse. So cool. Fine. Whatever. Uh, the crystal tree battle. You're talking about doing that now?
Potentially.
Um,
Although I am getting
yeah,
a bit tired.
yeah, probably the final battle. Yeah. Hold on, let me check the time. An hour and 10 minutes in this video, so let me cut it and I'll start a new one and we'll do the crystal tree battle. Yeah, because um, I just moved after I saved. So
Oh,
folks on YouTube,
that's okay. Doesn't really matter.
I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Adieu.